Hello, my name is Dr. Ron England, and I'm here to give you a presentation on Pyramath. First, a little bit about Pyramath. Why did I invent Pyramath? Well, the real reason I invented this game was for my own kids. But there's a little deeper cause to this. Some of the statistics that I've seen in the past, such as the fact that by 4th grade 65% of students lose interest in mathematics, shows me that there's something going wrong with the way kids are learning mathematics, or in just the way that they approach mathematics. So I took a little deeper look into what was going on with my own children and saw that in the 4th grade they run into, in the 3rd grade and 4th grade, they run into multiplication, which tends to be one of those things that you have to memorize and run through drills. The problem with that is that kids typically see this memorization and fast drill process as a form of punishment. Well, all these basic math facts add up. You need to learn these basic facts before you can do the more complex and challenging things later on. However, I needed a way to make this to be fun and not so much a form of punishment. So what it is I looked for the way to make it a game. And I needed a game that was simple and that was easy to do and that I could do with my kids. In the end, I ended up with Pyramath, the game Pyramath. So we'll look a little bit about how this game is played, because it takes a fairly significant departure from other games. My kids, well, guess what? That's 100. Okay, that's the good old speed drill. The end result was, with all the kids that we've played this with, is they ended up doing better in their multiplication, subtraction, addition, and division, which gave them a much more solid foundation to do all the other things that they need to do. So let's look at how we play the game. Well, simple play, and I'm going to show you here, but this is actually played with a real deck of cards, is you lay out 7 cards, and here I'll show you the way to play 1 player, even though you actually have ability to play 2 player. There's even an online game, which is what I'm showing this off of. So I've laid out 7 cards. Now normally I would have 1 player over here, and 1 player over here, and we would build on the pyramid in both directions. 1 player building in one direction and the other player building in the other direction. In this example, I'm going to show you how you actually build on the pyramid in a single direction and how the whole thing works. These numbers 8, 6, 3, 1, 1, 4, and 2 are all quite important. So let's look at this. What we use is the arithmetic facts: multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. And you do this by placing cards on 2 cards. When you run into a fact where the value is greater than 10, you use the units digit to still place the cards. So for example, you have an 8 and a 6 right here. Because 6 times 8 is 48, you can play the 8 on that. 6 plus 3 is 9, so I play a 9. 3 times 1 is 3, so I play a 3. 1 divided by 1, or 1 times 1 is equal to 1. It wouldn't matter which one you used. You can play a 1 here. 4 plus 1 is 5, so you can play a 5. And 4 plus 2 is 6, so we can play a 6 right here. So the object is basically to build the pyramid down. Now this example shows you building the pyramid 1 layer at a time, but you're not really limited to doing this 1 layer at a time. You can go and play a card on top of the 8 and the 9 before you play a card on top of the 1 and the 1 here. Basically, if 2 cards are side by side, they're playable. And the online version actually enforces these rules, and there's a 5 card and a 7 card online version that you can practice with and play. In the gameplay on the 2-player version with real cards, you have 1 player playing one direction, you have the other player playing off the same cards in the other direction, and the players take turns. The full rules are up at the Pyramath.com site. So, how do you play this? Well, the way we play it in the normal rules is the player who deals the cards has the other player go first. That player will pull a card off the discard pile, okay, or pull a card off the pile of leftover cards, and if they can play it, they will. If they can play it, they move on to the next card, and they keep going until there's no more plays available. When they get to no more plays available, they're going to lay the card down on a second discard pile. So there's 1 pile face down, 1 pile face up. It now switches play to the other player. The other player can pull off of the discard of the other pile, and they can keep playing until they no longer have any moves, and then they have to discard the card that they had. the winner is the person who finishes the pyramid on their side first. Fun, easy, straightforward game, and really does work. Some special rules. Okay, if you place two zeros side by side, and anybody who works with mathematics would know that the two zeros side by side, the only play you could put on two zeros side by side is another zero. However, in Pyramath, this is considered a wild play. Any two zeros side by side, you can play any card on them. Okay, you continue play until you cannot play. Okay, now the last rule is if you get stuck. In other words, you run through the deck, no player can play any cards. You haven't no players finished the pyramid. That's called a draw game, and what you do is you pick the cards back up, you shuffle them, and you start over again. So with the new game. So that would be considered a draw. You don't actually have to count how many players, what player got the most cards down or anything like that. Simply call it a draw and move on. Reason for this is it makes these rules make the game fun, makes the game move very fast, and you will find that as you use the game and you play the game, you'll get better at the math facts, and the game becomes more fun the more you play it because your ability to quickly determine math facts increases. So, as a result, we have a game that reinforces basic mathematic concepts you learn by playing the game. Also, if you notice, the game has 6 languages of the actual numbers on each card. Children can play adults, adults can play adults, and children can play children. It's an enjoyable game. It's lots of fun. There's also a solitaire version. If you go to Pyramath.com, you can see that there's actually multiple games to play. I've just shown you the rules for the basic game. And we have had tremendous success. We've done trial runs with teachers in real classrooms ranging from 3rd until 7th grade. It's used by lots of teachers, and the teachers heavily endorse the game. It makes the mathematics portion of their classroom and learning arithmetic and learning the multiplication actually an enjoyable thing rather than a form of punishment. So we are really having a good time with this. Now, for more information, go to www.pyramath.com. It's Pyramath.com. Okay, the website has the rules. It has an online version of the game which you can play for free. We also have for teachers, because we have a lot of teachers that like to use this, we have the Pyramath Wiki, which is at pyramath.pb, that's peanutbutterwiki.com. Okay, it has different variations of the game, suggestions how to use it in the classroom, how teachers have used this as tournaments, and you have access to other teachers to find out how they're actually using this. This isn't necessarily a game only for teachers. It's just that if you're a teacher, you will have fun using this game in your classroom. Okay? If you're a parent, you'll have fun playing this game with your children. But the real basic concept is this, is you will have fun and you will learn math. So there's our website. Hope everybody enjoys this little video and has fun playing the game.